Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making a jumpsuit inspired by the new Loki series on Disney+. So if you haven't been watching Loki, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Honestly, everything that's been on Disney+ lately has been so good. If they can keep this up, I don't know. It's like you don't want them to touch things that you love in case it's bad, but because it's all so good, it's like, yes, we are ready for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. You know what I mean? Per usual, I feel like dyeing fabric because that's my one true calling, I guess. And also I am too lazy and busy to make an entire jumpsuit from scratch. Also, I'm not that talented when it comes to hemming pants and or shorts. So I want to make this because A, I really am enjoying the new Loki show, but B, I also really want to go to Marvel's Avengers Campus in California Adventure, and I feel like this would be such a cute Disney bound. So instead of making a cosplay exact recreation, I thought it would be cute to make like a cute little Disney bound version, perfect for a summer day. So I'm not going to do a full length. I actually found a little like shorts jumpsuit at Target that is white and cotton, so I'll show you that. 5 million triple check that it actually is cotton. Oh, it's not cotton. Would you look at that? It's actually linen and rayon. That might make things slightly more difficult. That's okay. We'll figure it out. So I got this really cute little jumpsuit, and normally I would thrift something, but I just kind of walked by this, saw it, and had already been thinking about Loki things in my mind, what I wanted to do, so I grabbed it. And it was $30, but we will be dyeing it the correct shade. The shade of his jumpsuit is kind of weird. I was trying to figure out what color it was. I texted my mom. I was like, do you know what color this is? So I think it's somewhere between like a tan, khaki kind of color. And what I'm going to do is probably I'll have to mix a custom color using my RIT dyes. So I still have a lot of dye, so I'm going to go through and see what I have. And then I'm going to go buy some more dye at Michael's if I don't have the exact colors that I need. So let's look at a couple different color swatches to see what color actually matches up the best. So I don't even know how I found this. In the past, I found like RIT color dye charts on Pinterest and stuff where people will show you what kind of formulas they use in order to make custom colors, which is really cool and really handy instead of you just trying to figure out yourself, which you also could do, of course, but may take more time and effort. Not that I feel like these have ever always been, you know, perfectly exact, but it's a very good jumping off point. But I actually found this whole document, there it goes, flipping a page sound, let's not do that, shall we? That has all of the different kind of colors you could possibly make, and it's official like RIT Studio. I'm looking at all the colors here, and oh, that kind of looks right. This one is 1 teaspoon tan, 1/4 Kelly green, and 1 cup water. And looking at that in comparison, I think that's actually it. I think. It probably doesn't matter that much as long as it's within the tan khaki family. I'm sure it'll read, but it's definitely, I don't know, it's a weird color. That's all right. That's okay. We'll wear this tan khaki color with pride. So then obviously I want to add lettering to it, and the sleeves have a little bit of orange on them as well, just at the edges. So I think that might be well done with like a ribbon as opposed to paint, but I think that I'll probably want to paint on with a stencil, the TVA slogan. So first I want to dye this entire jumpsuit the right color. Once we have it the right color and it's dried, then we can start to add on the details, and hopefully we'll end up with something that's really cool and looks just like Loki's jumpsuit, but a cute little summer version for a gal at Avengers Campus. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this project. Okay, so I pulled out my box of dyes among dyeing things, and I want to see if I have the colors that I need. So here it said that I need, I think brown and Kelly green for the one that I want to go for. You can see there's a lot in here. It looks like I have this sandstone color, which actually might be really perfect, and it's a synthetic dye. I also found my big letter stencils, and I think that they're too delicate and they don't look right, so I'll probably just end up printing out the symbol and hopefully be able to kind of measure it and size it right. But I definitely do need some orange paint as well, and I might grab orange ribbon, as well as a blue color of the color shot. That's not too harsh, something that's like a light blue, so we can try to match it if we can. they do have this orange ribbon that's only $2, so I think I'm gonna grab this and see if it'll work. If not, we'll just paint on the edges. Okay, so I got everything that we need from Michael's. You saw all that, so let's go ahead and jump into dyeing this garment because we want it to dry so that we can add all the different details. So what I'm gonna do is change out of this very cute dress that I would not like to get dye on, put on something a little bit less glamorous, and we will start boiling our water. Let's do it. Welcome back to my floor. I am wearing my I'm just here for the Dole Whip tank top. And I have with me a bucket. Any size bucket will do. I have exactly a cup of boiling water. And I just heat it up in my little teapot. So whatever like hot water heater you have, that's perfectly fine. And now I'm going to mix together the exact concoction that it says I should do. So I'm gonna reference my notes here. So we need 1 teaspoon of tan, 1/4 Kelly green, and 1 cup of water. So first thing I'm gonna do is pour in the water into this bucket. And then next, 1 teaspoon of tan. And then 1/4 cup of Kelly green. That is very green. That seems very green, doesn't it? This isn't right. So this is definitely not right. I'm realizing, I don't know why it said 1/4 Kelly green. Maybe it meant 1/4 teaspoon? This is a very small amount of water as well. So here's what I'm gonna do instead. I'm gonna fill this with more boiling water, and then I'm just gonna add in tan and a dash of Kelly green and kind of mix it on my own, because following this recipe, I think, is not working out for me. So let's rinse this out and try one more time. And we're back with a vengeance. So I'm gonna pour the entirety of this in here. This is all boiled water in my hot water heater, as I usually do. It's also 5 million degrees today, so we're really heating up the place. So excuse me if I start sweating. Now, I'm really just gonna kind of do my own thing, because that's what I feel like doing. I'm just gonna do like a splash of tan. And what we're gonna do is use a piece of fabric to test the color before we put everything in here. So let's just see what the tan looks like on fabric real quick. I'm just gonna cut a tiny piece. I'm gonna add a little bit of the green. I think I might have to try this again. So I think this also isn't working. So what I'm going to do, this is the 3rd time's the charm, is I'm gonna try to follow that formula one more time. And I'm really just gonna put 1 cup of water, the tiniest bit of the tan, the tablespoon, and then I'm gonna guess that it's supposed to be like 3/4 teaspoon of green, and see what color that pops up as. Let's dump this out and try one more time. Attempt number 3. I'm gonna get it right this time, I have a feeling. So now I just have the 1 cup of boiling water again, so let's start there. That's with the teaspoon of tan right there. Oh, no! Oh, no! No! Why? Now the gardener's here, even though he used to come on Wednesdays. Good. Excellent for sound. Okay, I contained the issue, at least for now. So now I'm going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of Kelly green. Nothing more. The color is green. I'm officially giving up on this tan color that looks blue. Something's wrong. I don't know why this is blue. And I'm not going to add green to anything because it overpowers everything. So I actually have a sandstone color lying around. So what I think I'm going to do is just try to use the sandstone and call it a day, because this is not getting us anywhere near where the color is supposed to be. One more time. We have new water. We have new dye. It's sandstone. It's one of the synthetic colors, but it doesn't really matter too much. As far as like, I think that this will dye with either a synthetic dye or the usual dye, because it is mostly linen, but it is also, I believe, nylon. So this should be fine. Current color, like a very light tan, I'd say. I kind of think that it does need a little bit more of that cool tone to it. Okay, I'm finally happy with this color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dunk her in. So looking at the color that it is right now, it's still a very light tan as opposed to kind of a more bold tan. And since things actually do dry lighter than they look when they're being dyed, I think I need to do one more round. But I think this is the right tone. It just needs to be a little bit bolder, I guess is the best way to put it. So I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to do this one more time, make the mixture, and then hopefully we'll be able to let it dry while it's still hot outside. It's so hot outside, which is actually perfect for this sort of project. And we'll be able to move on to next steps. Hello, it's actually the start of the next day. Ow, God, the light, it burns. Yeah, things did not dry all the way last night, so let's see if it's dry now. How much is that jumpsuit hanging from the porch? There it is, hanging. I'm looking at it now, and it just is still a shade too light. So I think I really want to do one more round of dyeing to try and get it to the color I want it to be at. The way that it pains me that I have to do this again, but I think what I'm going to do is go back to Michael's. They actually had a color called taupe, which I didn't buy, which is definitely a mistake. And I think if I do one round of the taupe, like a thick color of it, hopefully it's going to turn out the way I want it. Because the sandstone is close, but it's still a little bit more yellow anyways. So let's go back to Michael's, back to the drawing board. We're going to make this happen. I got the goods. Let's go ahead and dye once more. Okay, so this time I'm going to do this the way that I usually do. So that's by putting in enough boiling water to fully cover the garment. Since we're only trying to do one color, we're not mixing stuff this time. So I filled my bucket here with boiling water, and I'm going to put this guy in here. Now we're just going to add in a ton of this dye to hopefully get a nice deep color on this outfit. Okay, so I think that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and leave it for 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and see if we're going to need to do another coat or if we can start drying it again. Hello and welcome back to the Kaz attempts to dye this jumpsuit for 5 million times show. And it looks really good. I'll show you what it looks like, and I think I'm going to go ahead and set it outside to dry. So that is a thick gold color, and I think it has some of that hint of green in it now. That I had wanted. And remember, this is going to be a lot darker right now than how it's going to dry, but I think it looks really good. So let's go ahead and hang her up. So we went through all of that, and at the end it looks like this, which is just, it doesn't look as green as I'm looking in the viewfinder of my camera, but it is pretty green, and it's not really the color that I was going for, so I'm kind of disappointed, and we spent all that time. So what I did do is I ran to Goodwill to see if there was just anything that would be a good backup, and here's what I found. I found this brand new tag still on Old Navy jumpsuit that is actually very close to the color. Again, it's not quite as like moody as his, like it's a little bit warmer. I do think it is better. So I got this, and then I also got the best I could do to pair with the color of the collar, which there really was no shirts like it. But I found this guy, and I think that this is the right color, even though his collar is not like the jean material. So I think this, underneath this, will be okay. So what I'm going to do is add some orange detailing to the collar here. I'm still going to paint on the TVA. And unfortunately for this guy, I think, you know, it could be a cute, like, Adventureland look at some point in time. It ended up being kind of this marbled green color. I probably should have just done another coat of the sandstone if I could have, and I would have had a more successful look, but you live and you learn. Nobody's perfect. So I'm going to print out the TVA symbol so that I can try and make a good looking logo on this. Welcome back to the ever glamorous floor of my room. It will be nice to have like a big giant craft table at some point in time, or just a table that like you could pull out. We're not at that budget point yet. So what I'm gonna do is create a stencil. I found this of the TVA online easily. And so what I'm gonna do is use my little X-Acto knife to cut it out and keep the rest of the outline there so that I can use it as a stencil for painting. I also am heating up my hot glue gun because I have the little orange ribbon that we got at Michael's, so I'm going to add this to the color of the shirt and maybe somewhere else on the jumpsuit depending. But the big thing first is just to make the stencil, so let's go ahead and do that. So these are my two colors of paint. So first I'm going to start with the more orangey one and then do these added details at the end with the darker orange. Okay, that looks good, so I'm gonna let it dry a little bit, and then we'll come back for the next color. Okay, now that we got the first coat of paint on here, I'm gonna jump into adding some details to the blue shirt. So the collar here, I'm gonna go ahead and take the orange ribbon that we got here from Michael's, and I'm gonna add like the orange stripe like he has on his shirt. And then I might also add some on the sleeve, even though obviously traditionally it's on the khaki part, but I think that it'll look good. I think it'll look good. Okay, so our shirt is all done. I actually think it looks really good. So let's go ahead and add the second color on the jumpsuit. Okay, so how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna cut just along this line. And I'm just gonna have to be very careful with how I do that. Now let's grab the second color. It is this shade of orange, a little bit darker. That looks pretty good, so let's leave it to dry and we'll see it when it's done.
Come on. What did you expect?
That's how this project turned out. Obviously, there were a lot of twists and turns on this road, a lot of problems. I definitely should have gone in with another color. I think I should have just chilled out with where it was at. It looks not as green right now, and let me show you. It dried even more, and I think it looks less green. Again, still not right though, so fairly well. I'm super happy with how this look turned out. I kind of feel like I ended up doing this kind of 1950s prison Rosie the Riveter version of Loki's outfit, and I'm here for it. Like, this is a vibe. Thank you so much for following along on this journey. Normally things work out better than this, I feel like. Normally I don't have to completely start from scratch, but what can you do? Listen, this is the way it be when you're trying to figure stuff out as you're doing it. Now I've learned about certain things with dye, which I've never had a problem with in the past, which is very interesting though, to go from dyeing kind of ombre pastel gradients to trying to do a more rich color, I think was probably where I had the biggest problem. It's also like 5 million degrees and I'm sweating, so I'm sorry if you can see the beads of sweat. I can't have the AC on because you wouldn't be able to hear me. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see any other kind of DIY Disney-bound outfits, what characters you'd like me to do. This was super fun, frustrating, but fun in the end. I really like the end result, so next time, less dye. Less dye. Maybe more tie-dye. Tie-dyeing's fun. That's all for this video. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at Kaz the Queen of Glitter, on TikTok at the Queen of Glitter, on Snapchat at Kaz Queen of Glitter, And also, you can subscribe right here to YouTube. The queen of glitter. That's all for me. I'll see you guys in my next one. Until then, stay sparkly. Bye-bye. I'm gonna go to Avengers Campus in this outfit, and I'm gonna see you, Loki. You'll see me there.